Welcome everyone. In this screencast, I'm going to demonstrate how to update multiple activities using a profile in PowerBase. Now we have to remember that to do any kind of mass updating using a profile, the field that you want to update needs to exist, and then you need to create a profile that includes that field that you want to do the update. So in this scenario, let's say that we had intakes this month and we had added a custom activity called intake, but we need to also go in and add the method of contact, which was either a phone call or a walk-in because it's important for reporting. So first I want to make sure that the field exists. That field, in this case, is a custom field that extends an activity of intake. So under Administer, Custom Data and Screens, first of all, I make sure that my activity type exists. So that is here. There's an intake one that we've created at the bottom here, intake, or it could be any other existing one. So the activity must exist. And then also there must be a custom field, or at least an existing activity field has to be there. So of course you can also update dates, the activity date, if you wanted to, or the subject line, you could do that as well. In here, I have a intake activities field, custom data set that extends activities of type intake. And you can see here, if I view and edit the custom fields, I just have one intake method that is of a phone call or walk-in option. So to do the updates, I also need the profile. So now that the custom field exists, I just go into Administer, Custom Data and Screens, go to Profiles. I created a profile, again, using a good naming convention, so I know which profile I'm using. I have one here called Update Intake Activity, and I just included that one field, which is the intake method, which is that walk-in or phone call. So now we are ready to do the update. In this case, we have to be looking at activities to be able to update those specific activities. The best way to do that is using our search, advanced search. And here under display results as, we need to look at activities. And now we can go ahead and create the search that we want. And in this case, I have an activity type called intake. That's what I'm looking for. I want to update those activity types or intake that actually were completed that happened this calendar month. So now I can go in and do the search, and let's take a look at those activities. Here we are. I have 47 activities that need to be updated. So I'm going to check these. I'm going to grab all of them, and since it's under 100 records, I can do this mass update just once. If it was more than 100 records, you want to definitely go in and change the rows to 100. So you can view 100 at a time, so you don't have to sit there and count, and you can get it done more quickly that way. So I'm selecting all of them, and I'm going to go to Update Multiple Activities. I'm going to select that profile for Update Intake Activity. I'm going to click on Continue. And here now I can have the method. Now I know, again, you can go down and you can click one by one. This was a phone call. This was a phone call. But I know, for example, in this scenario, I only had like 2 people do a walk-in. So everything was phone calls. So to make it simple, I can just set the first one a phone call, copy it all the way down, and then just change the 2 folks that actually were the walk-ins. And it was both Carson and Gerald were walk-ins. So I have my walk-ins there, and I can now do the update activities. And you can always verify. Sometimes it's always good to verify. So I'm just going to pick one here and verify that the activity was updated. If I go to activities, there's that intake activity. And if I edit the activity and we go down to the custom field, which is down here under the intake activity fields, you can see there's the intake method. So that's how you update multiple activities using a profile.